know. Hello and welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is David Novak. Today I am going to do the favorite quotes tag. This is an original tag by Sailing Through Books, and it offers an opportunity for the person who does the tag to sort of revel in some of their favorite quotes. Now, I don't really. I was just watching Isaiah at That Reading Guy talk about how he doesn't really separate out quotes, that kind of thing, and that's probably true for myself as well. But certain things do stick in my mind, and so I'm going to be sort of quick about this, I think. I will put links both to Sailing Through Books and Isaiah's videos in the description box below so you can go there. So the prompts or questions. Number one. Oh, and I should say preferably from a book, but could be from anywhere. And there is no limit to the number of quotes that you can use to answer one of the questions or prompts. Number one, a quote you return to in hard times, and what about it comforts you? And that's really a tough one because there is no sort of set quote that I do return to in hard times. And I should also say that some of these things that I've chosen could fill double purpose, but probably not in this case. Generally, if I am finding myself in some hard times, I will be likely to say something like, "Thy will be done," or "If it be thy will," drawing from the Bible, from the New Testament particularly, my context being a Christian one. So it could be in various ways, like if it be thy will, please let this cup pass from me, but if it be thy will, then I'll drink it, that kind of thing. So number two, a quote or two that sums up your philosophy of life. And that I know, and that is from Richard Wright, the novelist, and I think this is from his sort of memoir, Black Boy. But and I in this book of mine that I did, I used a lot of quotes, and I had to get permissions for them, and never did it again because it was such an ordeal. But this quote has meant something to me, and I do go back to it. So, Richard Wright, at the age of 12, before I had 1 full year of formal schooling, I had a conception of life that no experience would ever erase, a predilection for what was real that no argument could ever gainsay, a sense of the world that was mine and mine alone, a notion as to what life meant that no education could ever alter, a conviction that the meaning of living came only when one was struggling to wring a meaning out of meaningless suffering. None of that going on tonight. Number three, a quote you love because it's beautifully written. And so for that, I turn to Moses Finley. I'm sorry, my dear, you're on Moses. You're on Sir Moses. I'm sorry, kiddo. I should pull this down too. And this is from, The Use and Abuse of History. I could have used this cover for a favorite cover. This type of cover I like very much. So this is a collection of essays, and the second essay is The Ancestral Constitution. And I will read a little bit more than is necessary to give you the feel for the context in which the part that I like comes. It's the closing paragraph, but I will read a paragraph before that. Now he begins, there's a little footnote about the source, and he writes, "The inaugural lecture I delivered on 4 May 1971 was an abridged version of this original text. I made a few revisions prior to publication by Cambridge University Press, following suggestions of A. Andrews and John Dunn, who kindly read the manuscript. I have made no changes in the style." And that is critical to the final paragraph. Throughout the course, he makes reference to a lot of different scholars, academics by name. And so let me just read the last two paragraphs. "Much as professional historians may dislike it, that success is an important fact of our time. Some have found refuge in Mandaриnism. Professor Oakeshott, with his distinction between the practical and the historical past, who will not allow us to read history backwards or to use the word cause in our discourse. Professor Elton, insofar as he asserts that the main service of the historian's activity lies in its essence, though he then qualifies by adding that it would certainly be untrue to suppose that history can teach no practical lessons. Ernest Cassirer, who provides us with a good analogy from a comparable field, it is beyond the power of philosophy to destroy the political myths. A myth is, in a sense, invulnerable, but philosophy can do us another important service. It can make us understand the adversary." And many others, not all of whom have been so explicit about their view of the matter. I do not wish to underestimate or denigrate the search for the truth for its own sake, or what Professor Elton calls the cultural role of the historian. He contributes to the complex of non-practical activities which make up the culture of a society. I do not even insist that the latter be high culture. There is a place for history as entertainment, as gossip and trivia. But if one rejects the Oakeshott distinction, the question earnestly imposes itself whether we are in fact accomplishing much. In his inaugural, Lord Acton announced that ever since the Renaissance, the historian has obtained an increasing ascendancy over men. The inquiry into the ancestral constitution raises doubts. The time has perhaps come in the considerable introspective activity now being carried on among and about historians to add to the questions: what is history? What is historical explanation? A third, what is the effect of the study of history? I might rephrase it, cui bono? Who listens? Why not? And then comes the paragraph that I find beautiful. Mr. Vice Chancellor, my ancestral piety, at any rate, can scarcely be faulted. Without straining in the least, I have invoked by name 25 Cambridge men, a few admittedly still too young to qualify as proper ancestors. I close with the 26th, Hugo Jones, whose premature death a year ago was such a bitter loss to Cambridge and to the international world of historical learning. I will not dwell on the personal loss after 15 years of close cooperation and friendship. Today's lecture would perhaps not have interested him much. He always preferred to study institutions rather than ideas about them. But he would surely have agreed that ancient history is a practical subject. So, there is that. It's a very gracious close to a address. Number 4, a poem you've memorized and why you chose to memorize it. In some cases, I don't know how much I actively chose to memorize a quote. This is just a slight one from E.E. Cummings, I believe from the great book, 95 Poems. If not that, it's the posthumous 73, but I think it's 95. Oh, purple finch, please tell me why this summer world and you and I, who love so much to live, must die. If I should tell you anything, this eagerly sweet caroling self answers me, I could not sing. And I think I like it just because it is somewhat humbling. It puts us into our proper place. It puts man into perspective, I think, within the natural world. I guess I was thinking about birds after hearing Thomas Hardy's The Darkling Thrush very recently. There is a thrush poem in here, I believe, as well. Number 5, a quote that captures how you feel about love or friendship. And that would be from a poem by William Butler Yeats. And I think I will close with a reading of the poem, but it's from The Cat and the Moon. Do you dance, Minalouche, do you dance? When two close kindred meet, what better than call a dance? A quote that makes you feel seen, and there was one from Antonio Machado. This is translated by Ellen S. Trueblood, and I will read it to you in the English translation. So this is childhood memory of Juan de Mairena. Until he hears soft footsteps sound and a key turn in the lock, the naughty child does not even dare to stir or draw a breath. Little John, the lonely child, can hear the scurrying of a mouse, the borer working in the wood, the moth in the rag paper box. Little John, the little man, listens in his prison to time, the whining of a mosquito like the humming of a top. The child is in the dark room. His mother has locked him in. He is the poet, the absolute poet, and his song is time, time and I. That's number 61 in this book, if you're looking for it. El tiempo y yo. And the last one is a quote that you'd want read at your funeral. And I don't think I was able to come up with such a thing. The way I see it, one's funeral is an event for others, and I wouldn't care to bring any thoughts to the matter. I remember when my mother died, we went to the funeral home, and they sold us on the idea of these little cards. I don't really think you need this kind of stuff at all. And they had a book of all these possible things. And the only thing that I thought even worked out of all of the sayings that they offered was something by Tennyson. And I couldn't retrieve that for you. I don't think I have it published in anything that I own. So I will just close with some William Butler Yeats. What did I say? The Cat and the Moon. So, a lovely poem. 76. The Cat and the Moon. The cat went here and there, and the moon spun round like a top, and the nearest kin of the moon, the creeping cat, looked up. Black Miniloosh stared at the moon, for wander and wail as he would, the pure cold light in the sky troubled his animal blood. Miniloosh runs in the grass, lifting his delicate feet. Do you dance, Miniloosh, do you dance? When two close kindred meet, what better than call a dance? Maybe the moon may learn, tired of that courtly fashion, a new dance turn. Miniloosh creeps through the grass, from moonlit place to place. The sacred moon overhead has taken a new phase. Does Miniloosh know that his pupils will pass from change to change, and that from round to crescent, from crescent to round they range? Miniloosh creeps through the grass, alone, important and wise, and lifts to the changing moon his changing eyes. Thank you for stopping by my channel. I should say, if you have watched this tag and feel like doing it, please do. I am obliged to tag some people, and I thought I want to tag A Web of Stories. I want to tag Johnny Keene, and I want to tag Marilyn Maya Mendoza. These are very interesting prompts or questions, and I would be delighted to hear what you have to say, but as well, anybody who hears this and would like to do it, please do, and tag me in your video if you make it. Or if you are just a viewer of my video and don't make videos yourself, please feel free to put these into the comments for me. I'm very curious, although quotes might be a little bit cumbersome to reproduce. Anyhow, thank you for stopping by my channel.